Hello and welcome to this playthrough of Factorio, where I am building a megabase on Earth. I am using a mod, Cities of Earth, focusing on the Old World Hemisphere. My goal is to reach 10,000 science per minute with a rail-based design. The resources are set to maximum size and density, and biters and pollution are turned off. The mod list is shown in the description, as well as a link to my Twitch channel, High Speed. Please come visit me there. Questions and comments are welcome. Thank you for watching.
These guys have bots. Okay, I can see there's a problem here. I am going to have to take off my RoboPort and force all these bots to rehome because they are holding on to commands. Or I'll just manually build this. Spidertron, walk in a damn straight line. All right, anything left here? Nope. There you go, baddest. Now I have to do a little bit of work here. I forgot a couple things. What country is that? I already closed that tab. Western Cape? Is that the country? No, it's just South Africa. Okay. There we go. I'm going to mark that as complete. Now, one of the other things I thought about while I was away for a moment was this power grid. First of all, we see that that's the problem. They built that and they should not have. When I look at how the radar lines up and how I specifically designed this so the power poles could run vertical and the power poles cannot run horizontal, and I've got most of these as horizontal power poles and not vertical, and I started removing the verticals, I was like, wait a minute, I should keep the vertical power poles and get rid of the horizontal power poles. Just have one horizontal power pole that pretty much is as wide as the entire country, which is this, or the entire continent. And then only have vertical power poles from that. Actually, this should be it. Yeah, yeah, fantastic. That's what I'm going to do. How close are these bots? All right, I'll go get them. So I'll keep all the verticals, get rid of all the horizontals. I'll obviously need to clean that up. I'll have to keep, I'll have to set that as a new vertical, as that will be my primary uninterrupted vertical on the continent. Well, I'm going to have all verticals, so it won't matter. You bots are lucky I didn't just rehome you by removing my, Congrats, Baddest. That's nice to have some time off. Get a hobby. Fuji, how are you? I saw you on Cyclomatic server earlier. I didn't get a chance to say hi to him though. I'm doing well. Oh, they are square. I just skipped every other one. So, Fuji, I designed a rocket silo build. That's what I need in order to support a rocket silo. And then I'm in the process of designing a satellite build that can build 4 satellites and put them on a train. I'm gonna do like a quadrant thing. I have to have 11 or 12 rocket silos to satisfy my 2,000 or my 10,000 science per minute. So, yeah. And I'm just also diddling around with the power poles and stuff. I just built a house in Cape Fear, or Cape Town. I live in Cape Fear. Look at that. I thought I had pasted all of this, but I guess not. Copy just a little bit too much, too small. I'll double check this. Yeah, that's what I want. Where am I in relation to anything? So I don't know that I'm going to need all this power. Bucci, I turned off enemies and I turned off pollution. And the reason I made those choices is because everybody I watched ended up turning them off after they got to the point where they didn't matter anymore. And they had to use console commands to do it. So I just started with no. I put my frequency, I did a rail world, and then I set my frequency to whatever the frequency for a rail world is, and then I set my size to maximum and my density to maximum. And what happens is I reliably get resource nodes that look like this. Right? All of my resource nodes are pretty much the same size. So they all pretty much have, if I get on a normal build type size thing, this one's actually getting some usage. So all of the nodes are pretty much the same look and feel. Like here's a good shape. And this is about 300 miners. And it is about consistently 8 belts if you don't do any shenanigans, which I am doing later on. So 8 belts, 300 miners, and you're pretty much going to be set. Yeah, well, when it comes to this stuff, I did a little different. When I got the blue, because you then got to deal with mining productivity, and look, I forgot to do this here. And I'm experimenting with a new belt mining design here where I'm doubling up my blue, because once mining productivity gets to a certain level, they just overload blue belts. So I'm doing a different design than I've ever seen before, and I'm just experimenting. This has got a splitter to balance things out. But as you can see, it's pulling from the back, which I'm not really thrilled with. I had a design that was pulling from the middle, and then I couldn't get it to where I wanted it. But you figure the center ones are 25. That's 250,000 stone. The edge is 91,000 stone. So I'd rather I was pulling from the middle primarily, but in order to pull from the middle, I would have to find a way to not belt over the middle and still pull from the edge. And what I had for a little while was I was belting down and then back in between, and that's just a huge amount of belt, and I didn't like that. So this is, again, 300 miners and double blue belt. Now, it's 16 blue belt because mining productivity goes up to the point where I don't have enough throughput to feed all the miners I want. So this is 144, not miners, furnaces. I'm not putting ore on a train to reduce the train traffic. I'm putting ore directly into, I'm doing on-site smelting. But I'm not using bots, I'm using belts because it is a one-to-one relationship. So I'm going to keep the vertical power poles and eventually ditch all the horizontal power poles. Same way. Well, I handle stone the same way I handle coal, and I handle bricks the same way I handle iron. So, stone is right here, and it's getting loaded onto a train. Bricks are right here. I'm taking a different stone mine and smelting it onto, so it's being treated just like I had it the other way. But it occurred to me, why bother with that complication where I'm traveling that? And then I treat coal the same way. Coal gets loaded directly onto a train, and it's only used in one or two drop offs, so why not do stone that way too? I'll be right back. I'm sorry. Do you need coal for anything other than plastic? Well, I'm doing military science, so I need it for grenades. My philosophy on MegaBase is 1,000 science per minute is a minimum for a MegaBase, but I believe it should be using all the sciences. And when we look at all of the infinite researches, the only infinite research that uses all of them is follow a robot count. Now, granted, I'd love to keep doing mining productivity, because my mining productivity is currently 200%, and I'd love to have faster bots too. But first of all, they're ridiculously expensive at this point, although I could probably afford more mining productivity. And in fact, I think I will. We'll see how it goes. 45,000 shouldn't be too many. Want to get it to 30, I guess. Well, what does the calculator say? Mining. Mining productivity breakpoints for electric mining. Belt is blue, coal, iron, copper, stone. I'm currently at 20. My next bonus is at 23, 25, 28, 31. So I would need to go to 31 to get, or 35 to get the real benefit that I'm looking for. All right, I'll try it. That's going to wake up a little bit of the factory. Things are going to start happening. There's some trains that weren't moving are going to start moving, and this needs to be re-enabled. So where is that spooter? Wow, you made it all the way up here already, huh? All right, so back to my design work. 4 factories. I think I've got everything here. I would just need to arrange it. We're not going to do that. And so I need to design satellite factory. Train for resources. Plate. Belt to component builds. So the question is, why not do it like one of these? If this is what I'm going to do, right? Because that's steel. Is that 2 steel I need? I need 42 steel. That's 24. That's 48. But I want to do them as separate entities because they're going to 2 different places. They're not really going to 2 different places. I don't know why I split these up like this. Oh, I didn't split these up like this. This is how it goes. That is 8. Herp derp. That is 48. That is a 383 train unloading. So this is steel. Blue circuits. Red circuits. I'm wondering if 383s are what I want to go with here, but I'm going to keep it for now. This is plastic. And this is copper cable or smoking cable. These are batteries. This is low density structure. That's solar, and that's, what is that, 8? Well, fix this up to be the proper size. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. That's solar. That's accumulator. This is a radar. This is a gear. All right, so I chose to do the plastic at half width, and it turns out that's the only one I'd be doing that on, and that's not a good solution for me. That's not, I shouldn't do that. This is going to be a big overbuild on plastic, but it lets me have consistency here. So this is going to take quite a bit of build comparatively. But what am I looking at unloading here? Do you pump or train oil? Currently, I am only pumping oil because I am building these near oil outposts. And you just went to a commercial. Okay. So in this design for science, I designed them so that I am pumping, I am belting, or I am training oil in, right? But in this design for Speed 3 modules, I built my oil right in between two oil outposts. But I left room for me to later add station for oil unloading. When I designed this, I intentionally I added the oil unloaders, a pair of oil unloaders, even though it's kind of sketchy, just sort of thrown in there. Because I didn't want to find myself dependent upon placing it near a resource. I may even belt in or train in water, which is highly objectionable to a lot of people. But I'm going to be building these things in Africa. And I do want to find a way to make these things self-contained to the point where the only input-output train is a science train, and regionally the satellite train. I can't justify building a single satellite build. What would it take for... If I were to duplicate this and reduce this to just one, I'm looking at one of those, three of those. To be honest, this might be worth doing this way. It builds a satellite. And the reason I'm considering doing this is because I could have it have a shared resource pool with its rocket silo, because the rocket silos are not consuming all of their resources, right? I've spec'd out the rocket silo needs 79 copper smelting and 47 iron smelting. Well, that's 144 of each, right? And then oil is somewhat insignificant in so much as, okay, it's 6 oil, 6 refineries. And I don't know the exact math on how many refineries it takes, but it's 620,000 oil per minute. And this complex, each row is producing or is consuming 82,000. So that's 8, that's 16, 24, 32. So actually this thing needs a full set of oil processing if it's going to consume it all. Well, no, I'm looking at that wrong. I need to produce 555 total. But from the refinery, I need to produce 62,000. And then, yeah, okay. Each row is producing, so one row is producing, yeah. Enough petrol gas. So I need 2 rows of refining, which I think is what I've got here. Yeah, 2 rows of refining. The question is, I need to produce 164,000 oil, and this is producing 1.8 million. So one of these things is producing 99, 198. I need to produce 620,000. So I need about half of this. So I need about 11 to satisfy that. So anyhow, back from my tangent. The question is, can I build a separate satellite facility near this that uses the same resource pool in terms of plate, coal, oil? And it looks yes, because this is using 6 refineries. So the rocket silo is using 6 refineries. The satellite is using 1. I'm building into this 12 or 16, which seems like I've got an overkill situation here. It looks like I don't need these. So, yeah, I think I can do that. So this is 3 satellites. Or was it 4? 4 satellites. So what I could do is just build a side gig here of just satellite. I put it up here because there's less trees I'm going to clobber. So let's assume that I have an iron unloader like if I had steel. I'll have to figure out a stacker. So here's an iron unloader. Here's a copper unloader. I'll need a coal unloader. Let's eliminate the stacker from this list. So there's coal, there's iron, or there's iron, there's whatever the hell that is. Copper. And there's coal. So I do those 3 unloaders. And then I need 12 of these. I still need 12 of these? Low density structures. How many can I go with? That's 12. So instead of 3 A3s, we'll just do these as 4s. I do need the steel, however. We'll get to that when we get to it. I need 6 of these. Which means that. And I probably need the same of these. Steel, I need 42. That's 12. I want a little bit more than that. So there's 44. Batteries. I still need 16 batteries. That's surprising. That's 8. Now, when it comes to batteries, yeah, they can stack pretty high. That's 20. That's 16. How many do I actually need? 15.7. So there's 16. still only one of each of these. Blue, I need 6. That's 4. That's 8. Red, I need 6. That is also 8. Green, I need 9. That's going to be 12. Now that's going to be a challenge because I can't do that. Because the belt can't handle it. So I need 2 sets of 8 for this. About half of them go to blue. About half of them are going to solar. Surprising. Plastic, I need 2 plastic. So that's 4 plastic. Coal, we got copper cable, I need 10, so that's 12. Copper cable is also a situation where I can't. It's got to be 2 of them. Sulfuric acid, I need 2 total. And then I'm going to need sulfur, I need 3 total. Iron, rocket fuel, I need 9 rocket fuel. Well, that sucks. Because that's 8, that's 12. Well, I guess that overage will cover the trains. Solid fuel, I need 6. I think I've got that over here. Hello, Zendros. That's 8 solid fuel from... So I am laying out... what are the odds that you would show up right as your train would show up? That's funny. You are not making enough sulfuric acid to keep up. What are you short on? Sulfur. What are you short on there? What does sulfur need? Water. Where's the water? Oh! Yeah, that was pointed out to me earlier. That hasn't been working for a while. Oh, I've only been half working. That's why. Okay. Still, this sulfur. I don't want to put a sulfur tank there. Yeah, that's a bit more sulfur coming in. Good. And you're going to summon a train when? When you're at less than 1,000. You're supposed to be less than 10,000. Not 1,000. What are you doing here? Oh, that's not supposed to be there. Oh, I placed that T-junction and it reset those, and that's bad. Let's go get on here because that's going to break other stuff. Yeah, maybe it won't break other stuff, but I'm still going to go after it. All right, back to this. So I've got the solid fuel being made here. The same cracking is going to apply. It needs water. So Copper, steel, and plastic. So copper is going to get unloaded. I'm trying to figure out how I want to design this part. I've already decided I'm going to do this, and it's going to be integrated into this. And it may or may not have a train. It may just be a long belt, but it might also be a bot. So I will have bot networks, and these might be integrated all together. They might be spread out. It might be a small 111 train. Or a 121. Nobody's requesting a train right now, so it's not really blocking anything, but it would break it eventually, so. So you have 4,000, you're full. You have 1,000. You've requested a train. So if you have requested a train, but you're not coming here to get this train, this load. Haha! I don't know where it's going, but oh, it's only going here. All right, we'll try and get on my train as it goes by. Got there. Okay. Now this is the sort of stuff I usually figure out offline, but there's been requests for me to figure it out, so that's what I'll do. Historically, what I would do is put these three in a stack and then have their stuff run off and then have it filter out. So I would go here and then go here. Take all of these, do something like that. Have them belt over